Jeff Hillman here. Boom and boom. So next up is Kate Kelly, whom I met at Game SoundCon briefly. Yo, Sean is here after all. What's up, man? I thought you were going to watch the VOD. And Kate Kelly is in the chat right now. There she is. Excellent. I love when people are here. It's lovely. Can I zoom in here? Is this going to work? Yes. Okay, we're zooming heavily, 200%. This is a very brief site. We've got Kate Kelly's sound design reel. We've got reel, which links to... How do you say your site name, Kate? Is it like... Is your middle name... I can't think of a BA name. I seriously cannot think of one BA name. If it was BE, it'd be like Beth. If it was like Kate Beth Kelly, like Kate Bath Kelly. I think that's the name. I don't think your middle name's Bath. Bar. Okay, so Kate Bar Kelly. So it's like K-Ba-Kel. So kbakel.com/#hero for the reel. I don't get it, but it's funny. And then about. And then contact.
I want to say about the contact.
Yeah.
The mail to link wants to open up an email program on this computer, which I've never used and never set up, and always bothers me.
Likewise, absolutely. Barbara. Okay, thank you, Derek. Barbara, man, that's so obvious. You're right. Yeah, I hate mail tos, Kate. I think you could easily just say like, I don't think you should use this at all. This seems strange. And just in terms of framing, it's like we've got this big thing here for sound design reel. Boom, boom, boom. And we have this like big thing here for about, even small, even 100%. We've got like this here reel, this here about, and like this thing is so tiny, like tiny contact. I know you're on Twitter, so why not have like your Twitter thing here with like just a short little bit like, boom, here it is. Oh, wait, my bad. Oh, hey, Kate. Oh, my bad. I thought Herbert Carsley saying, oh, I'm Kate. I'm like, what? No. Okay, here we go. Good. Okay, carrying on. So, yeah, it just feels like it's very small, and you could have more information here that's, like, very easy to contact. I'd have to, like, look at this and go, like, I can get copy email address, I guess. I don't know. It just feels, I just don't like this button at all. So back to full size, or larger than full size. I guess we can just dive right in, but we'll go about first. Hi, I'm Kate Kelly. I am a sound designer living in San Francisco. I love the power of sound and storytelling. I initially started out creating sound for short films, and I really love doing that. I then started creating sound designs for video games, and was blown away by the medium. The challenge of creating a vivid soundscape in an interactive story is what has drawn me to game audio. There is something exciting and freeing about not knowing exactly how your player will find their way through your world. Here's world over here. Popped across. Yeah, great. Cool.
Yeah.
Good picture, too. Nice picture. Let's go to the reel. 108. Look at this length. That 10 is lovely.
Nice.
Okay, great.
I'm already in a good frame of mind.
Likewise. I'm going to full screen this guy. And yeah, the world is not a big deal, Gabe. It's because I'm zoomed in ridiculously. I'd be curious how it reads on mobile, though. I don't know. Okay, I guess the 5, 4, 3 mutant.
Oh, God, it got in my mouth.
we're back. Claps. Did not forget. Yay! More from. Oh, there's more from you here. So I guess your site's mainly just the game audio thing? Okay. All right, so presentation. How do you feel, man?
It's I like the title card.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta say that gives me all the relevant info.
What's this say, you think? I think it says Kate. This looks like a Kate. There's no T, though. Kate. It's like Kate. Like, no push. What's it say, Kate? You're here. Tell us.
It started off a little funny, and I'm not sure if that was just my streaming business. But it's like, boom, into a game you shipped. That's great. I like that. And I actually liked the clip choices from the game. The bit when he's like, I got a bit in my mouth. That made me laugh.
I laughed too. Yeah.
Yeah, that was funny. So yeah, it's all like, I don't know Chasing Dead, which was cool to be like something I haven't seen. Sleeping Valley, I don't know either, so that was cool to see a redesign of something I don't know, so I don't have a preconceived notion of it. And then you showed a game prototype, so that was also cool. That's like all stuff I'm not familiar and don't have preconceived notions about any of it.
Yeah, great. And like 1, 2. Yeah, good length in the opening. It's great. The banners are nice, the little lower thirds here, and they stay up, which is great.
Yeah.
God, it got in my mouth.
Oh God. Next. Again, title looks good. How's this? Oh, this nice fade in, fade out. Super nice. Boom. And then next section. Fade out and in. That one's fast though. What the heck? Inconsistent fade times, Kate. That's fine. Yeah, it's all what Matt said. I like a lot what you're showing.
Yeah.
The no preconceived notions is very powerful, more than you might think.
And I found it interesting. The Sleeping Valley sound design. I found a little bit of a disconnect between understanding what sounds were coming from where.
Totally. Yeah.
But this kind of like odd sounding close up kind of almost works for me because it's this, very like odd looking little game. Like I felt like it was a very stylistic choice that kind of like I find interesting about it.
Yeah. Yeah, so I guess we can talk about the material selection real fast.
Yeah.
So what's this reel telling you?
Second half is kind of telling me a little bit more indie focus with the Unity demo and the little 2D game, but there's also the zombie thing, which is like, okay, first person shooter, that's a release game, that Kate's working. So that's
Yeah, it's great. It's not clear. It's only 3 things, so it's very brief as far as the selection. So material selection, there are 3 things, which is not very many, and is definitely worth noting. And because there's only 3, it's a very small sample base as far as what this is saying about what you want to be doing. Like Matt said, it's like, well, it's kind of indie. It's like a prototype game kind of thing, and then there's this first-person shooter. These are vastly different things across the board. So I really have no idea. We're kind of back into hyphen territory, but on a smaller scale. So I think you could probably just flesh out more things, and if that means doing more redesign or more prototypes or showing anything else you've worked on, I don't really know what your background is. In fact,
I think if you threw in a 4th thing that was a redesign of the area in which you wanted to go in, whether that was the like zombie thing, shooters, or more the indie thing, like I think that would help steer it the way you want to like people to perceive it.
Yeah, totally. All right, so as far as content quality, I guess we can go to the front here. So audio designer, Chasing Dead. Let's press play again. So right away, that first scene, I guess I'll start. I think that it's it was good as far as like establishing place and setting. Right away I was like, cool, I'm on like a burning aircraft, and seems like the windows are blasted open. It's like I hear wind flapping and such. And then I got to the zombies, and let me first caveat this entire thing. Matt and I are fully aware that sometimes things in shipped games weren't your call, and that's something that everyone who's in a hiring position understands. So we're much more lenient regarding what might be perceived shortcomings or pitfalls in design in that respect. But as far as these zombies go here, this is I felt like I wasn't hearing as much as I'm seeing. Like I heard one moan twice, and it sounded like it was the same creature, but I see like 5 or 6 or 7. So as far as kind of conveying a threat to the player, that's a really good way of doing it. Is having like the horde heard. I mean, Left 4 Dead did that brilliantly. But again, we hear like a and here like here's what 1, 2, 3, or 5, I guess, getting up.
Oh, God, it got in my mouth.
Yeah, like it mainly shows like the whole like it's a shipped game and I worked on it. That's extremely good information. And then past that, if it sounds like okay, then great. If it sounds amazing, that's really helpful. But if it sounds okay, it like almost falls back to the well, it's shipped period, and that's amazing.
Yeah.
Do you have any notes on the whole chasing? What's it called again? Chasing dead. Chasing dead. Yeah.
Yeah, I mostly watched it and went, wow, it's a shipped game. That's awesome. So I kind of chalk it up a lot to like, well, you can work in a professional situation and ship a game. So,
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, man. Okay, so carrying on to the redesign, you kind of already mentioned a bit regarding like this kind of cool stylistic thing. And I'll play again here a little bit. Yeah, so like Matt kind of started with on his last kind of note about this game, is that, or the redesign rather, is that the first time I watched it, I was like, this sounds cool, but I don't know what I'm hearing from moment to moment.
Yeah.
And it's kind of an interesting disconnect to reconcile, because if you want to have that like really close up kind of sound, I mean, well, Limbo, that doesn't sound like unlike Limbo in some places. Limbo has like a really kind of close sound for a lot of the stuff in that game, and it works really well, but they do a really great job of like focusing your attention from moment to moment, saying like, this is important, and this is important. Yeah. But in that game, they also just design-wise, not sound design, but like game design, they do a great job of focusing your attention from moment to moment in terms of what's happening in the game as well. So since it's kind of like one at a time stuff, you tend to hear things one at a time as well. Whereas this, there's like things falling, you're jumping around, there's things moving all over the screen. It's a bit challenging to have all those things be equally significant to the player, to the listener. And that's a bit of what's happening right now. Like if I play, like there's like the one shot with all the things falling and stuff. It's a bit nuts. Here. Yeah, like everything is kind of given equal emphasis.
Yeah. On second listen through for me, I found that I think a lot of it is dead center. And I think panning stuff would help alleviate some of the understanding what's what.
Yeah, there's some panning on the kind of like chain spike things that are coming up and down. I did hear that in the second listen through, but Badland is a great game to listen to as well. Designer is Jonas Turner from Finland, and he's killed it. Badland and Badland 2 are just sound really good, and they have the same kind of look to them. Yeah, it's just like, and this little flash, I paused on the flash, crazy. This little flash had no sound, and I definitely caught that the first time around. I was like, wow, there's nothing on that. And I have no idea what just happened. It's like a checkpoint or like a bounce or what. Yeah, it's like generally kind of cool design. It's
I like
it's interesting.
the aesthetic that Kate's putting forward with it. Like it's neat.
Yeah, I think it's just challenging to kind of find that dynamic and focus in on what's important to the listener. And since you're doing a redesign, you can totally just choose that arbitrarily and assume there is logic in place in the game that allows for that to happen.
Yeah.
Just make it sound sweet. We'll carry on to the last bit here. The runner. Yeah, I mean, given that it's very brief, I mean, it's not obvious what the barricades are. It's not obvious what the ball's made of. It's not obvious what the surface is or what the pickups are or anything. So it's kind of like it's almost like an abstract design at this point.
I really like the sad little sound at the end.
Yes, me too.
That was really cool. I would probably just my main thing in that section was I'd probably turn up the rolling sounds. While in a game, I'd probably keep them at that level. For this sort of demo purposes, I'd turn it up so that we can hear, you made this cool rolling surface, event.
Yes, agreed. Everything's very quiet.
Yeah.
It's very quiet.
And especially that whole kind of piece is quiet compared to the other two pieces.
Yeah, so let's go from this last bit of Sleeping Valley into that piece, shall we? Yeah, it's really quiet. And if you're doing a sound design reel and showing your sounds, then just put them forward, totally. Yeah, they're like, it's hard to adjudicate appropriateness and anything just because it's just so primitive, right? So what this thing says is that you... well, I don't know that you made this. Again, I'm making assumptions that you made this prototype, but it seems like perhaps that's useful information for you, is that this is the assumption I'm making, is that you made this prototype and that you put sound in it. If that's false, then maybe it's worth adding in that you didn't make it, or that it's for somebody else, or it's like downloaded or something.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that's probably good for quality, yeah, man?
Yeah.
And distinction, what's standing out to you?
Biggest standout to me is shipped game right off the top.
Yeah, huge.
So that's a huge thing. And a distinction, I like these are, I don't know Sleeping Valley, so that always goes places with me when I don't know the games that I'm seeing. And it's a quirky redesign. It's a different redesign that I like. So
yeah, agreed. And actually, you know what? On the topic of shipped game you worked on, I'm curious, Kate, if you've worked on more things, because doing a first-person shooter for Wii U and Steam first is like,
yep.
If that's the case, that's kind of crazy. And I would be I'd be surprised if that was the case. So I'm curious if there's a reason that you don't have more info about your portfolio on your site, because I am curious. I'm one of those guys who's now like, okay, I want to know more, and I can't know more. There isn't more here. And if you prefer not to share that kind of thing for one reason or other, then I guess that's fine. But just be aware that is something I want to see. Okay, so that was my first gig. I came on as a second audio designer.
Awesome.
Yeah, rad. Good stuff. Okay, cool. I mean, standout, the same thing for me is what Matt said. Basically, the shipped game is huge, and then showing just interest in, picking kind of your own stuff, like some quirky stuff, and also kind of ground level prototype stuff is cool too. So
Yeah.
good stuff.
I think if in the case of if the reason you aren't saying what else you've done is because you're still working on it, you can totally put that in the about or whatever, like kind of projects on the go.
Yeah, unannounced even.
Yeah.
Is fine. And that just shows yes, I am active. That can be really, really useful information. So thanks a lot, Kate. Excellent. And is